Okay, so now the next thing we are going to look at is what we call types. So there are local types and there are also global types. So when you use the keyword types, what you are doing is that you are creating a custom type, a customized type. You know, we have built-in types like string, integers, decimal, packed numbers, so characters also. But when you use the keyword types, it means that you are creating your own custom type. Why? Because of your reusability. You want to reuse it multiple times. And then when you want to change something, you change it once and all the variables adapt instead of going line by line to change. So I will show you what I mean in the example. So we want to create a local type. So this local type means that these are our own customized type. I don't want to use the word customized, but custom type. So we use the keyword types, types in plural, types, and let's say types ty underscore amount. What is now the type? The type is packed and it has a length of 3 and the decimal place is decimals 2. Okay, so now what we are doing here is that we are creating a type. So we are creating a type of packed with a length of 3 and decimal places 2. So anywhere we use this type ty amount, it automatically reuse this declaration. So we now declare now and say data, let's say price. We now carry the type ty underscore amount. All right, and of course, let's give an example. See, I have some auto completion here. I can just press on tab, and so this will not go because the auto completion gave me these values, but remember my length here is 3, so I'm getting some error. So to solve this, you have to have a maximum of 3 here, 3 figures, and the decimal place is 2. This is what we declared. So you can say print the price in euros. So if I want to create another data type with these same parameters, I can say, let's say data, so let's say shoe size, shoe price, okay, and this type now will be type ty underscore amount, right? So right here you can also give other samples. So you can have data shoe price with type ty amount, data shirt price with type ty amount, and all these prices with this amount, with this type. So this helps us to reuse it multiple times like we have done. And when I want to change, for instance, I say, oh, the price is no longer length of 3, we have to make it length of 5, and then decimal places says you have to make 3. So you just update it to one place and all the other part is adapted to the correction or the update. So instead of trying to, use here, you have to use a type of packed, and then you say if it's p length 5, and then you give decimal 3, and if you do same right here, so you see that when there's any adjustment or correction that needs to be made, then you have to make changes for everything. So you get the point now. This is where types comes into the equation. When you want to reuse a certain type, this is what you do. Okay, so let me undo, and of course you can just print it out, print out on the console. So let's say shoe price, S to save, and syntax check, Ctrl F2. Now no errors found. Let's click here. If you see right here, you also see some tabs, console, and activate. When you activate run, you have to click on this inside this class. When you click on run as, and then you don't see the ABAP application console, you have to make sure your cursor is inside the class, executable class. It's ABAP application. I noticed this several times, so I'm just putting it out there. Okay, so now we have 0, 0, 0. And why is that? This is because what we printed out are all initial values. Okay, these are all initial values. So there are two ways to make assignments. So it's either you give a default value right here, which you can use the keyword value, and for shoe price, let's say 120.04. So if we now save, S and test check, no errors, activate. Now let's SAP application console. So now you see that we now get values in the console right here as we expected, right? All right, so the other part is similarly, we have also global types. So instead of just being localized class, the global types can be used everywhere in the system package. And global types are also defined once. They are used everywhere, and you can press F2 or F3 to inspect. Alright, for example, we can see data airport type. So this is an example of a global type that is available in this system, and it has a value of MUC. So if you press F2, which we discussed in previous video, if you press F2 you can inspect this. So